Welcome back to Retirement Coffee Talk with Sharice Rivers at Zinnia Wealth. Online, zinniawealth.com, ZINNIA wealth.com. If it's time to talk about your retirement, give Sharice a call. Let's sit down and talk about your concerns, the things you're worried about, the things you want to do, the things you're excited about. Let's get it all out on the table there. 833-368-3680. All right, Sharice. The World Series is over with, and one of the things that is not over with is all the talk about this ball player on the L.A. Dodgers, Shohei Ohtani. I bet you even know about Shohei, don't you?
I do. Ohtani has been the big talk. That's the buzzword for the last few weeks.
He's an interesting cat. I mean, he's a big guy. He's a great pitcher who can hit. And that's very, very unique. He's even in the lineup on the days he's not pitching. So it's very, very unique for baseball. What's also unique is how Shohei Ohtani is being paid. He is deferring a lot of his salary. Anybody like him would probably be making $10-20 million a year. But he is making $2 million a year.
Yes.
And he is deferring a lot of his salary to later in his career and even after he's done playing. And he's getting a lot of endorsements right now. So there's like $100 million in endorsements. So he's going, well, I'm getting the money there. Why not help the Dodgers? And the Dodgers can hire more players because he has a lower salary. So it's all working out very, very well. So the idea of deferral is something that you deal with all the time. I mean, working on something now to help you later. I mean, that's retirement planning.
It is. So Shohei Ohtani, this baseball player, is super smart, or he's got a very smart team around him, like directing him. And that doesn't always happen. The fact that he got a $700 million gig to play baseball is amazing. That is the number one deal I think we've ever seen in history, number one. And the fact, because so many people would want to, take that money over the next 10 years or take it up front. It's like winning the lottery. Not only is he strategically working with a team, in my opinion, to defer taxes, because if he were to take $68 million this year and $100 million in endorsements, that's a big tax bill, right?
Good point.
So he clearly has a tax strategist. He clearly has somebody who understands income planning and the future and potential injuries. And on top of that, Dodgers is making out. Like, they're totally making out because they're not having to fork up all this money right now. That $700 million deal, the Dodgers will make back in like 9 or 10 months, which is even more crazy. So they're making the money, right?
Yeah.
And so he's reaping the benefit as well. So there's clearly a really great strategy here. And deferral. It reminds me of retirement planning. So there's different strategies that we embark in for our clients. It's not just a 60-40 portfolio. And some of the strategy is deferral of income. It's to help create an inflationary protection strategy in the future. So we will allot a certain bucket where we're going to say, okay, this bucket we're going to defer and let it grow at 4 to 6% on average over the next 5 years and turn on that bucket for income. And then we have this 10-year bucket where we're going to defer that one. And that's going to be our little bit riskier bucket that we're hoping for like that 6, 7, 8, 9, 10%. And we're going to turn on that income bucket in 10 years. And then we have our 15-year bucket. So it's the same thing that Shohei Ohtani's doing. It's just he's got much bigger numbers than the average individuals.
Yeah, I think that all of us have been saving all these years for retirement. So that's kind of delayed gratification. That is deferring pleasure now for hopefully a great retirement later. I think about pushing your Social Security date off and saying, I won't take my benefits until full retirement age, or maybe wait till 70 so I get a bigger check there. I mean, there's a lot of different ways that we talk about deferral when it comes to retirement planning. And that's why I think it's so important to come in early while you're still working. I know that people will come in and say, Sharice, I'm going to retire in 3 months. What do we do? Well, yeah, I get that. But what if you were to say, I'm going to retire in 3 years, or I'm going to retire in 5 years? What do I do? That gives us a lot more options, just like we talk about right here.
Thanks for listening to the Retirement Coffee Talk podcast. If you have questions or would like to begin the process of building a tailored retirement plan, call Zinnia Wealth at 833-368-3680 or find us online at zinniawealth.com.
Investment advisory services offered through Zinnia Wealth Advisory, LLC, a registered investment advisor. The firm only conducts business in states where it is properly registered or is excluded from registration requirements. Registration is not an endorsement of the firm by securities regulators and does not mean the advisor has achieved a specific level of skill or ability. Insurance products are offered through Zinnia Wealth Management, LLC, Florida license L078655, and Sharice Rivers, Florida license P037744. Zinnia Wealth Advisory, LLC, and Zinnia Wealth Management, LLC are affiliated entities. The information presented is believed to be current. It should not be viewed as personalized investment advice. All expressions of opinion reflect the judgment of the presenter on the date of the podcast and are subject to change. The information presented is not an offer to buy or sell or a solicitation of any offer to buy or sell any of the securities discussed. You should consult with a professional advisor before implementing any of the strategies discussed. Any legal or tax information provided in this podcast is general in nature. Always consult an attorney or tax professional regarding your specific legal or tax situation. Any client experience discussed on this show are unique to that client. Annuity and life insurance guarantees are subject to the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. If you withdraw money from or surrender your contract within a certain time after investing, the insurance company may assess a surrender charge. Withdrawals may be subject to tax penalties and income taxes. Persons selling annuities or other insurance products receive compensation for these transactions. These commissions are separate and distinct from fees charged for advisory services. Insurance products also contain additional fees and expenses. Social Security rules and regulations are subject to change at any time. Always consult with your local Social Security office before acting upon any information provided herein. References to specific investments should not be construed as being past specific recommendations. The returns for various indices discussed in this podcast do not represent the performance of the firm or any of its advisory clients. Returns do not reflect the impact that advisory fees will have on an investment. Past performance may not be indicative of future results. All investment strategies have potential for profit or loss. Different types of investments involve higher and lower levels of risk. There is no guarantee that a specific investment strategy will be suitable or profitable for an investor's portfolio. Historical performance returns for investment indexes and or categories usually do not deduct transaction and or custodial charges or advisory fees, which would decrease historical performance results. There are no guarantees that a portfolio will match or outperform a specific benchmark. Investments in fixed income products are subject to liquidity risk, market risk, index rate risk, credit risk, inflation risk, purchasing power risk, and taxation risk. Because bond prices fluctuate continually, their yields change constantly.